Welcome back, YouTubers. This is a review of the Bandai Legacy Saba Saber from Power Rangers, the second season. The weapon of the White Ranger. This one was unique in that Saba actually talked and had a voice and some of a personality. He didn't get very much screen time. Anyway, you can see the top's pretty simple. The back shows it off pretty well. So, let's take a look at this. Now, something I should mention is, I bought this thing twice. The first one was damaged, so I sent it back and they sent me a replacement. But the thing about it is that the symbol on the side that's facing the window of the box was heavily scratched and damaged. So if you are thinking about buying one of these, check that area. Make sure yours isn't damaged too. Now it's covered in this black plastic here to keep it one piece. But here we have the sword. Now, as for turning it on, that button there does so. Both buttons basically do the same thing. Now the blade will extend, and this thing is fairly heavy on the back end. I'm reminded of that bit in the Chronicles of Riddick where Vin Diesel says half gram heavy on the back end. This thing's about half a dozen grams or more heavy on the back end. Now, this thing will play the Go-Go Power Ranger song, but I'm not going to be able to do it because this thing will get flagged for that if I do. So, the way you do it is you press one of these buttons and hold it. That'll activate the song. Anyway, but just pressing this one on, if you're holding it with the head facing up, the right.
Activate the Tiger Sword! White Tiger Sword! Tiger mode! Battle ready now! Oh, that was most impressive! I'm having difficulty getting through to the Red Ranger. I think you need a bit more power. I'll take care of him. Activate the Tiger Sword! White Tiger Sword! Tiger mode! Battle ready now! Oh, that was most impressive! I'm having difficulty getting through to the Red Ranger.
And it just continues on that loop. These are all things from some of the very early episodes where Saba was introduced. So I kind of wonder if this is taken directly from like the audio tapes that they had of the series. It's quite possible. And that's the left-hand button. It just does that sound effect.
I think you need a bit more power.
And as you see, even if you interrupt it with one of the other buttons, it doesn't reset what the pattern that Saba's on.
I'll take care of him. Activate the Tiger Sword.
Now, all in all, it's pretty good. However, as you can see, it doesn't have any motion sensors or anything like the Zeonizer did. So it doesn't accidentally activate a punching sound effect or something along those lines. Which kind of would be nice if it had like a sword slashing sound when you were doing it. But I can understand the reason not to include that because that would get really annoying after a while. It's better to make those sounds controlled by a switch or something, or have a mode for it. I really think that that's better. Now, comparatively, this is the Legacy Dragon Dagger. Now, one thing I can say about the Dragon Dagger is it's a lot better balanced than the Saba Saber. It's also a lot shorter, though. As you can see, comparatively in length, The Saba Saber is a lot longer, and that's not counting the extending blade. It's a good 6-7 inches or so longer, give or take. And as I've reviewed already, the Dragon Dagger is an excellent one. The Saba Saber, I think it's okay. I wouldn't have bought it if it wasn't for the fact that this thing's never going to be available again in a little while, thanks to Bandai losing the license and Hasbro taking over the brand. But the thing is, I've always wanted the Saba Saber. The original I've seen, it's a lot whiter plastic, especially the face of Saba. It doesn't have that gray texturing there, which I find really cool. It also doesn't have the texturing around the symbol. This one has a lot of gold dust sprayed over what looks like a gray background on both sides. It looks like it's hand done or done with a machine that wasn't very well calibrated, to be honest. But all in all, it's not too bad. One other thing that annoys me is this side's got a lot of these little screw holes covered over with these little circles. It's really noticeable. Dragon Dagger has a little of that, but they're not as notable on the black. The white of the plastic makes it really noticeable. One other thing is that the chrome on this is really prone to scratching, so if you want my advice, keep it in its box when you're not using it unless you have a really nice display stand to put it in. Otherwise, this is an excellent toy. However, it does have a critical flaw that must be addressed, and that is its battery compartment. The battery compartment on this thing is very, very poorly designed and poorly explained. But the simple way it works is there is a hole here that you must push down forcefully right here in order to cause it to pop up. You cannot remove this battery plate any other way. You will have to push it down and back. You'll probably want to use a small screwdriver, but be very careful because you will damage the plastic on the hole or on the switch if you push too hard. But it will require a bit of force and this will pop up. Just so you know, that was one thing that I had a fair bit of trouble of and had to look up myself. So there's that too. All in all, this thing gets kind of a B rating on me. It's good and nice if you have a real connection to the White Ranger design or to Tommy. This is definitely something to pick up. If you're a casual fan or you just want to collect the weapons, it's a maybe. I would get it just because I am a big fan of the weapons from Power Rangers, but if you are not, give it a miss. Otherwise, go for it, but see if you can get it on sale. Now, like the Dragon Dagger, this also did get a black version. Like, all the white parts are replaced with black, and it has a lot more black chrome on it. And gold on it, but this thing's already mostly gold, so I don't really get the difference. Either way, that exists. I'm not really sure why it exists, but it's one of those things that they made as a Toys R Us exclusive or something. Though it's all over the place these days. Either way, please like, subscribe, comment below, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you all next time, and follow me on Twitter. Ciao!